He's had all his shots. It's Marvelous Marvin on Hits 106. Same great music, cool new name.
When I first moved to Newport Richey in the 70s, late 70s, I was a designated young person, and I used to make fun of the old people that got up real early in the morning to work on their gardens and lawns, and now I get up real early to work in my garden. And I'm very picky about my garden, and my neighbor, he's got, chickens. He's from South America, and when he first moved to the neighborhood, and I live just right outside the city, so it's not in the country by any stretch of the imagination. When he first moved to our neighborhood, he looked around and thought, well, everybody should have chickens because everybody in his neighborhood in Venezuela, where he comes from, they all have chickens. In fact, he used to have a rooster. The rooster would crow every morning at 4. That did not go over too well. And got rid of the rooster. Now he's got 3 lovely chickens, which sometimes get out. And it was all fun and games when it would attack my other neighbor's lawn. The chickens, they like to scratch and throw dirt everywhere. Apparently they're cleaning their feathers. I don't know. But my neighbor was not amused, and he got into a screaming fit with the owner of the chickens. And me and my bride would sit across the street, and we'd laugh. And it was all very funny until... just last week, I looked out the window, and my landscaping was destroyed by 3 chickens. So my bride says, "We got to go. Let's go over there." So I got all worked up, go over there, and I start screaming at the lady. I said, "You got to keep your chickens." She was all upset that her chickens had gotten out and destroyed my landscape. And she goes, "How can I make it? What can I give you money?" "I don't want money. I just want you to keep your chickens in the yard. In your property. Keep them out of my place." He goes, "Well, they have to let them run loose once in a while. It's inhumane to keep them cooped up in a pen." And I go, "Well, it's inhumane to keep them, in the city limits." And she says, once in a while, the chickens, they get out. Now her husband, it's really his chickens, he is a architect for the city. And I said, "Your husband's an architect. He can't design a chicken coop that chickens can't escape from?" She goes, "Well, I'll come over. I'll clean up them." I said, "Don't touch my landscaping." I'm very picky about it, and said, "Don't touch my landscaping." So go back home, all upset, and look out the window, and there's my neighbor lady with a little broom trying to clean up this giant mess. Well, I just went ballistic, went out and started shrieking at her. I told her to get on her broom and fly back home, and I got in her face. I was being a real you-know-what. And my wife comes out, my bride, and she's had been on my side earlier, but I'm so irate about the chickens, yelling at the lady, that all of a sudden, now my beautiful bride is defending the lady what owns the chickens, her and her husband. And I get so upset, I drive off in a huff. I had to go do things anyway, so I'll come back, I'll be cooler, it'll be better. And my bride calls me. She says, "I am so embarrassed, so ashamed to be your wife. You were a total jerk. You scared that lady." And I'm like, oh, no. So I sat, prayed about it. I said, well, I got to apologize to that lady. Got to apologize to the neighbor lady. Came home. My bride wasn't even talking to me. She goes, I don't know that person who was screaming. That's not the person I married. And I said, listen, honey, let's go across the street. I need you to go with me because I want to apologize. I don't want to show up by myself. She might, have a gun or something. They might think I'm coming to hurt her. So I go over there with my bride, and my neighbor's got a Tampa Bay Buccaneer jersey on. I said, listen, I'm very sorry. I got so upset. I really apologize. I said, you're a Buck fan. You got enough troubles. You don't need your neighbor screaming at you about the chickens. And she says, I don't even like those chickens. They're my husband's chickens. I'm like, well, I'm very sorry that I screamed, and so sorry that I got upset, and I really apologize. She goes, well, how can I make it up to you? What can I do? I just looked at her, and I said, well, I'll take 3 chicken dinners, please. Everybody is laughing, and we're having a good time, and I said, well, I'll settle for some eggs. Well, the chickens have not escaped lately, but I haven't gotten any eggs or chicken dinners yet. But please, keep your chickens corralled and keep them out of the city limits. This has been a public service announcement from a man who got excited and started screaming because 3 rogue chickens attacked his landscaping. Thank you.